What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here with episode number 33 of our Williams Revival here on F1 Manager 2022. If you missed the last episode, hit pause now, go back and watch it. You can't say you weren't warned about spoilers. Right, so the last race, Valtteri Bottas took a momentous win in Mexico. Oscar Piastri, I messed up his strategy under the red flag a little bit because for some reason it deselected the intermediate tyres I'd put on him. I don't know why, can't explain it. Either way, that's what happened, so he lost out on some points, finishing in 10th, I believe, from memory. So, yeah, it was not a fantastic day. Anyway, we've got 11 days to go between now and the race in Brazil at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache. It's the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, I should say, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Distinction, of course, is important. Anyway, so we've got some new parts manufacturing, at least. We're not expecting anything design, I think, until the last race of the season. We're currently focused on research. We are within reach of getting ourselves into, in fact, we'll go through the championship standing while we're here. We're in reach of maybe, we need 2 1-2s and Mercedes to not finish, but we could finish third in the Constructors' Championship. We've had a late season revival. We've won the last 3 races, I think. We're on the podium in the last 4 or 5. In the Drivers' Championship, Valtteri Bottas or Oscar Piastri could easily get themselves up into 5th, potentially. Actually, I'm doing the math. Valtteri Bottas could potentially get himself into 5th if Sergio Perez doesn't finish either of the next 2 races and Valtteri Bottas wins both, but they could both jump George Russell with a win and or a couple of 1-2s or, whatever. Basically, 6th is possible, 5 is low probability possible. Let's see what we've got here. We've just finished manufacturing our new rear wing. Have I put that on the car? I have a feeling I did. That's beautiful. Okay, let's keep going forward. We'll apply any upgrades to drivers and stuff with development points as we go along. New manufacturing of our side pods. I know I've got that on the car already as well. That's good. Up-and-coming driver to scout, Théo Pourchaire. Well, funnily enough, I know quite a lot about Théo Pourchaire, and it turned out he wasn't terribly good for us. But we'll scout him just to say we did. If nothing else, it'll let us keep an eye on where he ends up, which will help us, I guess. We've got detailed scouting on it. I don't know why you're telling me to scout him. We know all about him. He's literally been driving for us. You can see here, he has had 11 points for us this season. For some reason, he's credited as being with ART in 22. I don't know why. Oh yeah, because I signed him from them in 22. He got 23 points last year. He didn't get any podiums, and he was not terribly great for us, whereas Bottas was at least nailing... whereas Piastri was occasionally nailing the odd podium, and Bottas has done nothing but podium since he's been with us, because that's what Valtteri Bottas is going to jinx it now. He's going to crash on the first lap. Manufacture some new chassis. Do we have those on the car? We do have those on the car. Beautiful. We're all in good shape, manufacturing-wise, for our trip to Sao Paulo. That's what we learned here. Sponsorship obligations getting completed, bringing in a few more dollars, and practice sessions are ready to be complete, which is beautiful. Let's have a look at the previews for the race. What we're saying in this preview is saying Valtteri Bottas took first place. More eyes on Carlos Sainz. We're certain to fight with everything to claim that first place spot this time around. Charles Leclerc leads the championship. Race prep-wise, we're expecting some rain, which is good. As we get a red flag, I won't be screwing up this time, I can promise you that. That will be happening. 71 laps of Sao Paulo. We should actually talk about the standings just in general as well. Ferrari have easily won the Constructors at this point. It's not even close. In the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc currently leads it by a single point from Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is currently theoretically in the fight still. If he wins both of the next 2 races, which will be trying to stop happening, he'd be on 140 points. Remember, we're on the 10 points for a win system. There are 8 points for a draw, though, for a second, though. So Charles Leclerc finishes second in both those races, or Verstappen finishes second in both those races without Leclerc winning. He'll take the title. There are other maths available as well. Basically, a win for either of them will secure the championship at this point. Towards the end of the season, you would have to think. Right, race targets. In fact, we'll look at the car analysis before we do race targets. It's always a good way to see where we're at. Acceleration is recommended. We're 3rd. Medium speed recommended. We're 7th. Low speed recommended. We are, or crucial, we're 17th. that's fine, because we had a little look at the track map in the last race, didn't we? And we saw that it's mostly high-speed straights, and we do quite well in high speeds. So let's do the performance targets. We're going to say qualifying position, both drivers, top 10, nailed on, because I feel that. And Q3 again, we'll say both drivers, nailed on, because we've just said that twice. Right, finish position, I want us to finish 14th. We're going to go for a fastest lap. We did get the fastest lap in the last race. Qualifying position streak, I'm going to go big and bold here because we can only set a target for 2 races. We're going to say both drivers top 10, both races, for a big reward. I think that is something we can achieve with the car we've got. So without any further ado, I'm going to do qualifying and practice, and I'll come back after Q3. So we've practiced, we've qualified, and here's how it's all shaken out after Q3. Leclerc and Sainz look out the front row for Ferrari, which is quite a big deal for them, because that's going to be a battle for the title. The title could be decided if Charles Leclerc takes the win here. Sergio Perez takes 3rd, but he's got a grid penalty. Hamilton likewise in 4th. Verstappen takes 5th, will jump up to 3rd, so the front 3 on the grid are the front 3 in the championship. Valtteri Bottas next to Verstappen, Ricciardo next to Piastri. Lando Norris and Kevin Magnussen 9th and 10th, again grid penalties. Sebastian Vettel and Esteban Ocon 11th and 12th with grid penalties. Alonso 13th, Russell 14th, Stroll 15th, Gasly 16th, Schumacher 17th, Tsunoda 18th, Zhou Guanyu 19th, and Alex Albon in 20th. They've taken the grid penalties because there's nothing to lose. They're right at the back. So let's go see what Croft and Karun have got to say, shall we?
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
Qualifying went well for Williams, as attested by their strong position on the grid. Now it's all about finding that edge for the race itself. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
And when it comes down to it, there's simply no telling what will happen here in the ups and downs of Sao Paulo.
So despite it apparently being dry at the start, we are actually expecting some rain in Sao Paulo, as you can see here from the pre-race weather report. So strategy is going to be very, very important here. Let's have a little look, see when it's coming. It's coming pretty much immediately. So it's going to be hard. So we're going to go on the hard tyres. We'll start a hard tyre strategy. And then let's have a look and see what the rain is. Sorry, a soft tyre strategy even. See what's going to go on here. I think we'll go softs to an early stop for Inters around here-ish. Sorry, around here-ish, brain, following the map. It'll be a pretty early stop for Inters, so we can just burn through our tyres. And then I think we're going to play it by ear from there. We'll prepare to be on wets to the end, but 50-50, very much 50-50. We'll see how the weather looks when it comes, when it gets bad, all that good stuff. We'll just kind of, like I said, we have to play this one very much by ear, because it could, that first rain period could come in as early as here, which would be struggle. In fact, let's plan for it to come in as early as there. Let's see when that falls on the map. About there-ish. So we'll go with that, and then we'll plan for, I think we're going to do a 3-stopper. That's horrendous. We're actually going to keep an eye on the rain. We're going to see how far those wets will go, because I think we're going to have to go to Inters from wherever that rain period comes down. So there-ish. That's going to be marginal. We'll plan it for that. It's going to be super dangerous, but we'll plan it for that. We'll go hard on both of our first stints. We'll go intensive on that one, and then we'll keep it going till the end. That should be okay. So tough. It's going to be really tough, this race. As I said, it will be a case of right tyres at the right time. That's the only way to play this as a strategy. So we're going to have to do exactly. I didn't firm that. Please tell me I saved it. I did save it. Good. Right. So we're going to do exactly the same thing for Bottas, because we're going to have no choice but to adopt a double stack strategy here. It's just the way it's going to have to work. So go for the minimum 5 laps on that one. To the Inters for, I think we said a couple of laps, didn't we? Lap 11 I said we'd come in for the Inters on. Pretty sure that's roughly where I put it. As I said, this could be a, sorry, I said we'd come in for the wets on it. This could easily just not get to full wets, at which point we'll kind of adjust accordingly, but I think that's how it's going to shake out. I mean, where I put this last pit stop, somewhere here, wasn't it? I think that's how it's going to shake out. We'll run it, as I said, entirely by ear, because this really could go either way. It could go either way, and I'm not entirely certain which way it's going to go, but that's, I think, going to have to be the tyre strategy. In terms of fuel, I'm loath to put too much in, because I know we could stick in another 9 laps of fuel. It's a 71 lap race. We're going to go 3 heavy. Just to be on the safe side, we'll 4 bore on the tyres, of course, and on the overtake. And we're going to see how that plays out. We'll do exactly the same for Valtteri Bottas. We'll go 3 laps heavy on the fuel. Again, just full out. We're just going to go all attack on this one. I just realised I didn't select that strategy after I said that. I didn't even actually... I'm so bad at this. Right, let's do that again. So bad at this. I'm so bad at making sure I save the strategies when I need to. Right, that's going to go hards. That's going to go hards. Going to go wets. Lap 11. See how good my memory is here. And then we're going to go to a stint on Inters at the end for about wherever the drop-off point comes. Was about there, wasn't it? That'll do. Create that finally and select it, and good to go. Right, without any further ado, let's go get this race done.
The drivers there lined up on the grid under mostly sunny skies. And there's Valtteri Bottas. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And looking at the second Williams car, a top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? Everything's been building to this. Who will win? Only time will tell, here at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
So we're underway then. Bottas in 4th, Piastri in 6th. It's going to be the time when the big strategy calls play off. I see everyone else has started on mediums, which feels, I say everyone else, but Schumacher and Gasly and Vettel have stayed on the softs because they think they know what's up. So we're going to have to hope for the best here. Piastri has already taken or overtaken young Daniel Ricciardo. Good stuff. So we're gaining already. We're on the back of the 2 Ferraris and staying ahead of Max Verstappen, crucially. We are currently holding him out of the title picture. This would take this down to being a last race battle between the Ferraris, pretty much, if he stays in 4th. So we are 4 minutes from the rain, which is about 4-ish laps. So it's all going to be out when we come in, who comes in when. Verstappen and Piastri are having a fight. Let's go see what's happening there, because that's going to be way more interesting, I think, because I don't know if we've got the pace to catch the Ferraris. We're going to have to try and jump them in a pit stop, try and get into the Inter tyres as fast as we possibly can for that period, and see what happens as Piastri overtakes Verstappen. Bottas has overtaken Leclerc. Almost stereo moves right there. Bottas is absolutely going for it. He knows there's a win coming. Let's see the offboard of this overtake coming out into the final corners, and he's just made it stick, powered his way through, and we're going to have to go for an early fastest lap actually, because that's the only way we're going to secure it. I think Sainz has already taken the fastest lap. I'd like to get Bottas in some fresh air, if I could, get him in some clean air to be able to pull off the fastest lap. So it's going to be a case of, can we get Bottas ahead of Leclerc as fast as possible and just go for it? That's our plan. We're just going to try and go for it. We're going for the move, looking for the move right now, it looks like, on Charles Leclerc up ahead. Can we make it through the inside? We're not going to make it through up there. And now we're going to the slower part of the course. We will lose a little bit of time. The tyres are going to help us, of course. Going for the look up the inside here. Can we go up the double right-hander? We're not going to do it. We are going to do it. We're going to go for it. Valtteri Bottas is gone. And it's time to deploy and sneak that fastest lap. We're going to keep a watching brief from behind here, but I think Bottas is just going to make that stick. He has just made that stick. He's away and clear. And now it's on Oscar Piastri to try and get himself past. Piastri's already got the fastest lap, so we had it in the bag. But I'm just trying to secure it now, because the bigger the lead we can get before the rain comes, the better off we're going to be. And it's going to be all on Oscar Piastri now to make this work for him. Because if he doesn't make it work for him, we are in serious troubles. So that's worth paying attention to as Bottas is about to cross the line, hopefully take the fastest lap. He has taken it. Beautiful stuff. We're going to go to neutral just so we know we can hold on to it. DRS enabled. Bottas, in fact, we're going to go back to deployment because I wanted to start trying to pull away from Leclerc. Piastri should be able to get an overtake there on a Ferrari under DRS here. He should have the extra grip, the extra speed, and the extra overtake. Bottas is going to get closed down a little bit, but of course Leclerc is not going to get any closer. So it's going to be Piastri versus Sainz for the rest of this lap to see what happens. Can we do something here? We need to make it. He should be just watching what Valtteri is doing. I think Piastri just look down the road, see how Valtteri is doing the overtakes on the Ferraris, because that is going to prove very, very key as we are 1 minute away from the rain starting to fall. It could happen any second now, and when it does, we're going to be coming in, getting onto those tyres. I'm going to very much keep an eye on the pause button so that when the rain does come, we are able to get whichever car is closest in, because it could well be that Piastri is there. And how fast is this rain going to come down is the question, because it has just started. It looks like it's going to come in fairly quickly. So I'm going to take the gamble. I'm going to get us on the inters before that rain gets too bad, because it's coming in hard, it's coming in thick, and it's coming in fast. And there should just about be enough gap for the double stack here. So it's very early, but I think very early is actually a good time to come in, because I don't think the Ferraris are going to be sensible enough to come in. This could be a huge gamble. It could go to wet straight away. We know that the weather guide can sometimes be a bit suspect, but I think before Leclerc and Sainz get back round again, it's going to be firmly in Inter's territory, and we'll have made up so much time on the cars ahead of us that this pit stop won't actually cost us anything. I know the double stack, bit of a risk, but I think the couple of seconds we're going to lose with Piastri isn't actually going to cost him any track position. I think it's going to absolutely help with track position. We've got about half a lap where the Ferraris may have some speed advantage on us, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make that stick. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think we're going to come out well up on pace on the Ferraris. Bottas has secured the fastest lap. It's all about whether Leclerc or Sainz can take the fastest lap at this point, because this is the last dry running we're going to see of the day. And I don't think they will. I think Bottas has got the fastest lap for the day in the bag. He is going to come out, like I said, a slightly damp track. We're saying it's dry, but let's not count our chickens. That weather will get worse. We just need to get ourselves fully pushed and up and ready to speed. And if the Ferraris come in here, we are laughing. Even if it's just a third of a lap of wet tyres, we are laughing. Sainz is in the pit. Leclerc is going to go around for another turn. So Verstappen, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll, Gasly, Vettel, Norris, Albon, Magnussen. Ocon, is he coming in? No, he's not. They're not going to double stack their cars. Okay, good stuff. Right. So that may have cost us a little bit. We may have come in a touch too early, because it looks like we've just dropped a lot of places. But it's okay. I've got faith in this strategy. It should be fine. We should be able to stay somewhere in this. Maybe it was a lap too soon. Maybe one lap too soon. It wasn't quite there for us, the gap, and now we're stuck behind Carlos Sainz again. A lot of the cars ahead of us, though, not terribly good. Leclerc and Russell are... Oh no, Leclerc and Russell didn't come in, did they? They're going to be sitting ducks. We're in net P7 and net P2 and P3, sorry. That has worked out. I can't do the maths in my brain today. We're in net P3. That's where we need to be. Good, right, let's get Bottas round Guan Yu Zhou. I know he's going to try and defend his line, but you you've got to think he's just in the way, but you've got no pace. Move. Just move. Honestly, just move your car. Move your car out of the way. What are you doing? Black flag him, please. Right, Bottas finally makes it past Guan Yu Zhou. Carlos Sainz has got like a 4-5 second lead on us now, which is not going to help. Something's happened in Sector 2. Someone spun. Hopefully it wasn't Piastri. I think it was Guan Yu Zhou, given that happened. But now we're okay. We've got the fastest lap. Leclerc, Russell, Perez in. Ocon's going to come in as well. Sonoda is in. We're going to... Oof! Jesus. What was Ocon thinking? Hold the inside line, you lunatic. Absolutely crazy stuff. That is not how you do that. And now Bottas and Piastri are fully on top of this weather. We need to see how that's going in terms of a wet track game. We're going to be okay, I think, to get to a wet period. If we come in early for another set of inters, we kind of bargained for that anyway. Not the worst situation we could be in, and now we're trying to slowly catch up to Carlos Sainz. With Bottas and Piastri, we'll start the hunting down process. We're going to go to full fast speed because the hunt has begun, and we're going to get it. Piastri is locked up somehow, absolutely ruined his race, and he has got some kind of mechanical something. I'm not sure what he's done to his car. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like he's hurt anything. Yeah, Crofty, they're completely off the racing line. It was the car I was going to look at, wasn't it? So just because we're in the pit window? It is. There's no damage on his car. Okay, that's fine. He's kind of balked his own race a little bit, but he's at least still on the track, so not out of this just yet. We're all good, and Piastri should be able to start catching up to Leclerc anyway, so that'll be fine. We're just, as I said, keeping an eye on what the rain is doing, because I want to know where the peak of that wet part is before we come in for a pit stop. It could just stay on inters, in which case we'll downgrade our pace levels. We're still going to have to come in again for another set of inters, but that's fine. I'd rather do that, be on the right tire at the right time. We can see it's going to be inters to the end anyway. It's probably even in the wet period. It's all very hit and miss, but more rain coming. Who knows? Who knows how that could play out? Let's jump on board with Piastri. He is catching up to Carlos Sainz, and reasonably quickly, so that's potentially we'll get the overtake done again, or we'll have to go for another undercut. We'll see how that goes. Let's go double speed, because Bottas is going to make that inroad to Sainz fairly handily, you'd have to say. It's drying out a little bit, but we're just about to head for more rain, so that could go up very, very quickly. We'll see how that shakes out, because as the rain starts falling, it starts falling bigly. The tyres are getting warm. Don't you worry about that, Valtteri. It's fine. We're going to be okay for a while. We'll just see where this peaks. I don't think actually it's going to peak at full rain for now, so we'll drop down on the tyres just to preserve them a little bit. We're not quite at full range, and it's fine. This Carlos Sainz is still not quite as fast as us, so it should be okay. We'll just keep going, see how it goes. I think it will go to wet, but I don't think it's going to go to a prolonged wet period. I think we'll have a look once we get there, because I think this is the peak of the rain we're just coming to now. And if that is the peak of the rain we're just coming to now, we're going to be fine. I know it's the optimal lap for our strategy. The strategy is our guide, buddy. I don't need you to tell me where the optimal is. We're pretty much the wettest it's going to get. So, okay, that's fine. That's good to know. We'll just keep on trucking, shall we? The Sainz is actually pulling away. We want much better tyres now, because I gambled too heavily on the rain radar. It didn't quite make it to full wets. So, that's okay. It's fine. We're going to be well up on fuel for the rest of the race. We'll be pretty much fine for that. We're just going to sort of keep it going, see how it goes. Let's zoom forward. Piastri's not making any big gains on Ricciardo. They've all come in for big wets. How big wets are we big wetting? I don't think we're big wetting for long enough for that to be an issue, if I'm honest. I think we're probably going to be okay just to stay out on the inters. I mean, admittedly, I've probably already made one tyre mistake, so we'll see how that goes. But I think we should be alright to stick this one out. I'm not going to come in for the big wets. I think we'll be alright. I don't think we're going to get super caught. Sector 2, something's happened. Someone's gone off. It wasn't our driver, so it doesn't matter that much. I think Ricardo gone off, I think. Magnussen, he's had a bit of an error. It's already drying up. We're going to stay out. I'm not fussed. I think Ferrari have also figured out it must be plainly obvious it's going to dry up. Something in Sector 3 happening. People on the wrong tyres at the wrong time. That's what's happening. But now we'll gain our pace advantage back. We'll prove that staying on the Inters was the smart play. There's been a crash on track. Is there a free pit stop in here somewhere? It was Danny Ricciardo. Let's see what's happened to Danny Ricciardo. He's had quite an eventful one. He's gone into the back of an Alfa Romeo. No, he's just binned it and gone for a small holiday in Argentina, apparently. Good stuff. Well played, Danny. Season's not over yet. Not really time for your holidays, but proud of you. Proud of you for doing that. That was some good driving. Well played, son. I'm glad you're happy. Vettel and Stroll have come in, presumably to get rid of the wet tyres. You have to think they've got to be getting rid of them. They can't be getting on the wet tyres. They must be getting rid of them. That's the only logical play here, is that they're trying to get rid of the wet tyres. Because they can't have helped them. Let's see what they come out or what they come out on. Because I don't understand why you go in for wets right now when the track is drying up. That doesn't make a lot of sense. We'll see when they come out. Vettel just clearing the pit lane now, and he is coming out on a set of Inters. Yeah, they came in for the wets and got rid of the wets. That's what I thought. Not really how you want to do that. That's not quite the one. Piastri seems to be 8 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, which is not really the ideal situation for him to be in either. But we're kind of in a no man's land situation, so we're just going to keep an eye on the weather radar again and see how that shakes out. As I said, I think we're going to come in for another set of Inters as soon as these ones burn through. Perez has overtaken Piastri, which I'm guessing fresh Inters is coming to play here. It's very close racing. But, we're still with the top teams, and that's what's really key here. He's gone around the outside into the DRS zone, coming out of these center S's. Not unexpected, it's got to be said. I think Russell will probably make his way past us next. We'll still be in the points. I'm not stressing. Piastri doesn't have the best parts in his car either. It's got to be said. He probably could have used an engine penalty at some stage, but such is life. Track condition has changed to wet again. Is it staying wet? No, it's just going to dry back out again. It's got wet and it will dry back out in about a minute. Anyone coming in right now is losing time. Looks like Guan Yu Zhou decided to come in, but Guan Yu Zhou losing time is irrelevant because he'll finish about 3 laps down regardless of what happens here. So we go again. We keep going. Something's happened in Sector 1. I'm sure it wasn't overly important. Bottas is getting caught by Hamilton. Again, Ricardo having a spin again. Again, wrong tyres at wrong time. It's just a small tyre issue. It's not big drama. Sainz is having a good old push to try and create a gap for a pit stop. Fully understand why you do that, but we're going to come on much stronger towards the end, so I'm not super bothered because we are seeing the track dry out again. I mean, there's going to be on and off more rain for the rest of the race, but we're seeing the track drying off. Bottas now is actually in a battle with Hamilton and Verstappen. So this could be an interesting thing for the rest of the race, or for the outcome of the race as things go. We'll stay in the off-board, we'll go super fast, see if anything happens here. Bottas is 14 seconds behind Sainz, but I can't help feeling Sainz is going to make an ill-advised pit stop at some stage. To go onto a set of wet tyres, I can't help feeling that's the situation we're looking at. Because this track isn't getting any wetter, is it? It's just not going to get any wetter than it is. I feel like I should have just gone for the two-stop onto Inters twice and trusted them a bit more, but it did look like that rain was coming. A set of Inters will go quite far. It's not going to be the end of the world because ultimately Hamilton and Verstappen and Leclerc are all going to have to come in and get off those tyres regardless as the battle goes on with Hamilton and Bottas now. We'll join that in real time, see what's happening in this one. Is Hamilton going to make it around the outside? He's not. Bottas very much has his number, but then Hamilton sneaks his way up the inside. He could be through, clear and gone here, but of course Bottas on the inside for this corner. He's still keeping it going, keeping his nose in at the inside, but now he's got the outside for this corner and the next couple of corners, in fact. So this could be where Hamilton's got it done. Hamilton, of course, the honorary Brazilian, knows this track very, very well, and he has made it past, and I don't know if Hamilton will be able to close the gap to Sainz or not, but he should be able to leave us behind a little bit, and it is just about us keeping Verstappen tucked up behind us. But this, as things stand, Carlos Sainz would be leading the Drivers' Championship by 9 points, I believe. Oh no, by maths in my head. He'll be leading the Drivers' Championship because Verstappen and Leclerc are not picking up enough points to keep him ahead. There's an Alpine of Ocon coming out of the pit, presumably on a set of Inters. Is the track going to go drier than Inters? It's probably not. It's a bit all over the place that way, the map. It's we'll see what happens. But Bottas is just kind of playing the defensive game, stacking up cars behind him, which could help bring Piastri back into the race. But Bottas kind of being the podium safety car at the moment, maybe. But you know, we'll see if he can help bring Piastri a little bit closer into this battle, so that when we do make our pit stops, we're not at a disadvantage. I'm just having a think about our strategy now. We should come in in the very near future for tyres. I wish at this stage we're going to unleash some cars with some pace behind us. We're going to have better tyres for a little while. We'll try and come back in just after them get an overcut going. That's going to have to be the plan, I think, just to make this to the end of the race. I think there's an argument. I'll have a little look at the strategy view. If I was to go to another set of Inters now, let's have a little look. See, if I go to another set of Inters now, where's the crossover about there? Is there a way to make those last? There's no way to make them last to the end anyway. So we're going to have to go 2 Inter stops. It's going to be a dry period as well, which I say a dry period. The track will dry out a little bit around lap 43, so that could help. We'll see how it goes. We're just going to hold off for now. Bottas holding up Verstappen and Leclerc, doing his bit to ruin their championship hopes, which is nice. Just come along, spoil a party. We do like seeing that. Carlos Sainz is, as I said, he could win his second world championship at the next race if this carries on. It's not impossible, but I mean, I'd hope we were in the mix somewhere, but he could do it. We're okay. There's a distinct top 4 teams now. We're one of those top 4 teams, which is good. But yeah, Bottas trying to hold off Verstappen. Hopefully he can kind of keep that bottle corked until we come in for our pit stop. I am seeing that the track is drying up enough that maybe it's going to be a long period on Inters coming. I don't think it will. I think the hard rain is coming. I do need a safety car right now, I'll be honest. A safety car right now would be absolutely magical. Ricciardo having another excursion. Keeps trying to find a way to take a holiday. We're just needing to make an error there. The Ferrari and the Red Bull behind us are battling. Let's see how that helps us out, because if they're going to go to battle behind us, we may get a little escapee away because they won't be attacking us. And it's not impossible they could just both go past us, kind of a Häkkinen and Schumacher in Spa style. It's not impossible that overtake could be coming because they should both have the overspeed on us at this stage in the tyre life. Piastri, I think, will bring him in next lap because that's... In fact, no, his tyres aren't going to make it. We're going to have to go for the gamble. Another set of Inters. Job good for him. And Bottas will just kind of keep an eye on. See how that goes. Piastri will drop outside the points quite heavily with a pit stop right now. But I'm hoping he'll be able to earn his way back in. That's my plan. That's my thinking. Let's hope it pays off. Because if it does, we're okay. But what's all about right now, the Valtteri Bottas defensive masterclass is being pulled off. I am keeping an eye on the time for the pit stop. Should be a 2.6. It usually is at this stage in the season. 2.5 could even be a possibility. We'll see how that goes. Quite a long pit lane here at Brazil. It does have quite a fast entry and exit, which does help at least a little bit. What's the stop time like? 2.5 seconds. Beautiful stuff. That will help us out. He's coming out in 13th, and solidly in 13th, you'd have to say. So he's going to have to do some chasing to catch up with Kevin Magnussen. Stay ahead of Sebastian Vettel would be ideal, because frankly, otherwise Vettel will absolutely be in our way. He's quite good at defending. It looks like we're going to be out and fine on those tyres. We're still waiting for the inevitable Ricciardo-induced safety car. Someone's locked up in Sector 2. There was a McLaren. It was probably Danny Ricciardo again. Was it Lando Norris? Lando Norris has had a visit to the gravel. Let's have a look at Lando Norris's visit to the gravel. See how his holidays went. They went as well as you can expect. He's parked up, had a nice lunch, decided to come back out on track and see if he can save his race. Good stuff. Okay, so sit rep right now is Bottas is holding up Leclerc and Verstappen. Perez should be getting a bit closer to the back of Verstappen at a sort of rate of knots, actually. He should be closing up on all of us, and that will help us out immensely. Perez is making a gap over Russell, though, so there is that to contend with. But Piastri should be the fastest man on track right now with his fresh tyres. Should bring him into play with Norris and Magnussen quite quickly, which is something we're going to be looking forward to, because that will give us some action to enjoy. Am I going to bring Bottas in now? Do I want to go one more lap to bring the field a bit closer together? I think I'm going to bring him in. That's going to be my plan. I'm going to bring him in now, get him on some fresh boots. We'll all be good here, and hopefully this will massively increase our race pace. We went for the same move that Ocon did on us earlier, just cutting right in front of Leclerc, but give him a bit of a Code Brown moment to contend with, and let those guys go on their merry way, fighting out for the championship points that aren't coming. There's a yellow flag somewhere out there for something. I'm not quite sure what it is. We've got a lovely overhead pit cam. 2.6, someone's gone off. Yuki Tsunoda had the off this time. That's good, because he would have been coming through to overtake Bottas, I think. I think Russell might get close. I'm not sure. We'll see how that looks on pit exit, because Russell will be coming through there slightly quicker than Bottas. I think we've made it out clear, and we can get back into chasing the Red Bulls, the Ferraris, and the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Someone else had just people locking up all over the place. It's another McLaren off track. We'll go on board with Piastri. We'll see. It was Lando Norris having another lock up. It says turn 15. I'm pretty sure that was turn 1. It was turn 1. And he's just having a sightseeing thing. I guess he and Danny Rick are going to compare notes on the best burger vans round Interlagos. That's probably his plan. And Good luck to him, I guess. Good stuff. Right, let's just keep the train a-rolling. We have Piastri now trying to make inroads on Lando Norris. I wouldn't, if I was Piastri, I wouldn't be trying too hard to overtake Lando Norris, purely because if you wait long enough, he's just going to stick it in the wall anyway and make it easy for you. So let's not worry too much. Let's just see what occurs here. Obviously, if we do get a safety car in this race, I'm going to come in for new tyres regardless. Get the cheap pit stop, because it's going to help us out somewhere down the line. At least make us competitive with our rivals. And, we can have an even keel until the end of the race. But I don't think we're quite at a point we need to worry about that just yet. Piastri is catching Norris very slowly, but very slowly. I wouldn't say he's hand over fist. In fact, I'd say they're fairly even on pace at the moment, which is slightly concerning, because Piastri should have far more pace than Norris does. But again, our engine is down on power at the moment, so it could just be that with this little power in the Renault engine, this is where we are in relation to the McLaren drivers. So it's a bit rough, but that's life. Let's just keep on going, see what we can do in terms of just letting things play out, speed their way through. Leclerc's in for a pit stop, Ocon's in for a pit stop. track condition has changed to wet, but again, is it going to stay there very long? Possibly will. Let's take a gamble. We'll leave Bottas out for a lap and see how it goes. We'll bring Piastri in, because Piastri has not a lot to lose. It looks like it is going to get proper wet for a little while, even for just a few laps. But it should even things out a little bit. Bottas should be able to keep going probably through this very wet period. I'd like to think he should be able to keep going and make it work. But again, we'll see how that goes. In fact, Bottas does have Charles Leclerc on the back of him. We'll see what tyres Charles Leclerc has come back in on, or come back out on, because that's he came back out on Inters. Okay, interesting. So the other teams don't think this wet period is going to last. I think it's going to get a little bit wetter, but I do think keeping Bottas out for track position may help us. Let's see how this pit stop goes. Let's 2.5 again. Beautiful. I mean, they're giving Bottas the faster pit stops, but we'll forgive that. That's fine. That's normal. Perfectly normal. Right, we've got a wet period, and hopefully it'll stay wet long enough that we can make the best out of it. Bottas is he's going to stay out regardless, because he needs to make up the time. I'd rather bring him in for the extra stop, or one less stop, and lose a little bit of time in terms of being on the wrong tyres, because I don't think it's going to make that big a difference. I think Bottas now is ahead of Charles Leclerc until the end, and Bottas can probably milk those tyres out long enough that we can come in with Leclerc, which will help us out in terms of being further up the field. We are going to speed things up a bit, because I don't think Charles Leclerc is going to be able to hang with Valtteri Bottas for very long at the moment. I think the wet tyres are going to be a big help. Piastri has made an overtake on Albon, so going on the outside, there's definitely some. We can't say there's definitely some advantage, because it's an Aston Martin, and they are just moving chicanes. But he's got past him easy enough that maybe there is some benefit to being on those wet tyres. Verstappen's come in. Looks like Vettel, Stroll, Alonso, and Ocon are all on the wets as well. Let's see what Verstappen comes out on. That's going to be an interesting question. If Verstappen comes out on wets, then we know we've done the right thing with Piastri, I think. It's probably fair to say. But we'll see what happens. Verstappen might just have gone Inters. He has gone for another stint on Inters. So we've split the strategy. We're having that gamble with Piastri. Last lap around, Piastri was actually slower than some of the cars ahead. But I think he was on an out lap. We'll see how that goes when the other cars around us cross the line. Carlos Sainz coming in for the pits as well, possibly for another set of Inters. We will see how that goes. I'm just kind of keeping an eye. Piastri did a 23 last time. Magnus, we are 7 seconds faster than any of the cars on track right now. Being on the wets is actually the right thing for right now. It's going to be, maybe this is how we get Piastri back into the race, just by having him be 7 seconds faster than everyone else around him. But what tyres is Magnus on? Magnus also on Inters. So we're playing this out well, I think. We are doing okay. If Leclerc wasn't so close to Bottas, I would have brought him in. But what was there to really gain by doing that? Big question. We'll see how that goes. I think there's a reason there's only cars near the back of the grid are trying this wet stint. As I said, it's not going to stay wet for very long, so we can probably burn our wets a little bit for Piastri. So let's just burn them flat out, completely use them. There's nothing to lose by doing that. I think we're still on the lead lap, just about, so we're okay there. We've got a big gap to Sebastian Vettel. We are, as I said, we're on the better tyres. We should catch Magnussen fairly quickly. We should start seeing him come up in front of us quite quickly. There is going to be a drying out period on the track, but that's okay as long as we use the last of the wet conditions to get onto the back of Magnussen. I don't actually think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be fine, because we should get caught up to him and pass him. And I don't know when he's due to come in. probably fairly soon. If we can pass them and get back on the inters, I think we'll be alright. But it's going to be, again, touch and go. Someone's run wide in sector 3. Looks like it was a Mercedes, but I don't know which one. Russell, possibly. Ricardo ran wide in sector 6, in turn 6. No surprise there whatsoever. Right, this is the last of the wet period. It's just crossed back over, so our opportunity is gone. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on these cars ahead, see if they're coming in. If any of them do come in, we will follow. That's just going to be how that goes. Anyone coming in this lap? They are not, so we'll come in the next lap with them and take the undercut with no more rain coming. Let's just get ourselves onto the freshest set of inters we have. Again, I don't think this has cost us any time. I think it's definitely gained us a couple of places that we will probably quite soon get back, if we're honest. So that's fine, and we're currently, as I said, we're on the heavy wet. We are sort of in a condition where those tyres will work. We're in a crossover period, so hopefully Piastri will get ahead of his opponents in Magnussen and Gasly before then. Perez has come in, presumably for fresh inters, so he'll drop behind Bottas, which is nice. But how's everyone else ahead of us tyres going? Hamilton's tyres are going to drop off soon. Sainz is free and clear, really, in the lead. He is essentially 20 seconds clear. He's got a free pit stop on us. So that's going to be a problem. But Piastri is going to have a little look here. I think some of those cars ahead of us are going to come into the pits with us. So I'm not going to stress too much. I think we're just going to see how Perez has come in. So that's a sign as well that we're sort of in that period of another set of inters for everybody. Is anyone else coming in with us? Someone else is coming in with us. That was Mick Schumacher coming in just ahead of us. And Yuki Tsunoda also in, but Tsunoda will be back on his way long before we get near him. We've dropped down into 14th already, 15th now. Can we get a better pit stop than Mick Schumacher? You'd like to think so. We're in the grid slot behind him. Let's get the tyres on. Get gone 2.5 seconds, and we've held him in the pit lane. And we're going to come out. In fact, we've got past Ocon and Mick Schumacher in Tsunoda, I think, just ahead of us, actually. Tsunoda's just ahead of us. We've just been lapped by Carlos Sainz, which is fine. He'll come in for another pit stop between now and the end. I'm going to go down to the standard because I think these tyres can last to the end. I want to check the strategy view, actually, because that's wise. Let's go to just add a strategy quickly and just have a little look. Should just about make it to the end. Could even be another dry period before the end. Who knows? Who knows what we're in for treat-wise for the rest of this race? Could be anything. Valtteri Bottas is currently lapping Ocon on the pit exit and should say goodbye to him. Jobs are good and nice and firmly done. Nice and firmly done. Good stuff. And they were chucking some back markers between us and Leclerc and Verstappen as well. That's going to help us out towards the end of the race. We're just going to have to make the best out of this now. I think we're going to go for the quick zoom, get ourselves forwards again, just help ourselves out a little bit. Bottas is making inroads on Hamilton, who's really pushing these inters quite far. Bottas could be securely in second by the time any more pit stops come round, which is nice. That's beautiful. It's working out slowly for us. Piastri is in a battle on track with Lance Stroll, who's on a set of wet tyres, so we should do him easily here. And then we'll follow Tsunoda past Vettel, the man who's in his seat, in his real life seat. We should be good. We should be good to make these positions up. Being on those wet and getting back off them has made us up places and time in ways I don't think make a lot of sense to anybody, quite frankly, but it has helped us out. So we're going to be okay. We're going to sit pretty there. Piastri should start still catching up to the back of Tsunoda. We'll keep an eye on that because Tsunoda's going to get held up by Vettel once he gets to him. Assuming, of course, Vettel doesn't come in for tyres. Tsunoda has just got straight past Vettel, but not quick enough that we didn't catch up with him. So Vettel played a blinder, doing us a favour there. Let's get this done down through this straight, shall we? That'd be nice. Up on the inside of this left-hander. Come on, we've got to have better traction. We're on much better tyres for the conditions. You're letting Tsunoda get away. Oscar, come on, mate, let's get this done. I'm going to drop our fuel consumption down as well before we run out of fuel. Good. Piastri on the outside makes that happen. Holds on in front of Vettel. Keeps holding on up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. It looks weird seeing a number 5 on the front of an Alpha Tauri. Don't like it. Not a fan. Anyway, Piastri overtakes Vettel. That's another position gain. We're on to the back of Tsunoda again, and we need to start chasing our way back into the points, as Bottas has managed to securely hold on to some points. Even if we pit now, we come out in P6, so I'm not super strict with Bottas, obviously. We pit out P6 with Piastri, that'd be a miracle. So we're not worrying. Bottas is in a fight though with Leclerc, so there's probably some crossover happening in tyre consumption there. Verstappen trying to get involved too. Not really the one. Let's keep going, buddy. Let's keep going. What was that, Valtteri? You lost the position. Now you need to get your foot down and get the position back. We should have some straight line speed advantage here, slightly over Verstappen. We don't have cornering advantage over Verstappen, unfortunately. We do have a little bit of straight line speed advantage, but we're not there in terms of cornering just yet. So we're going to have to hope we can stick with him, make the best of this. I think we'll be able to stay in this DRS train at least, which is a good start to proceedings. And we're just going to hold on to it. Something's happened in Sector 3. Someone has spun. It was a Haas of Magnussen. I think it was Magnussen. We are somewhere in that chaos past Tsunoda as well, I think. Just gone over the grass. Went over the grass and then just absolutely binned it mid-track. Utterly binned it for no good reason. Piastri is still on the back of Tsunoda, but we are going to catch the back of Magnussen quite quickly. So we're not going to worry too much about that. This is the big fight up front, though. It is Bottas, Verstappen and Leclerc, although Verstappen's starting to lose us a little bit. But that's absolutely fine, because we're just going to keep having a little check of the weather radar. There's more rain coming, possibly another big wet spike towards the end where we can sneak some positions with Piastri if we need to. But, again, playing it entirely by ear. Bottas should, as I said, be able to keep up with Verstappen in the straights. It's just through these two really twisty, slow bits here, Sector 2, where we're going to lose time to Verstappen. But as long as we make it back up through the quicker parts of the track, we're okay. We'll stay in touch. And Verstappen shouldn't be able to leave us for dead too much. We should just be able to happily stay with him and just see this one through. Meanwhile, Piastri on board with a battle with Tsunoda and Magnussen, the two Haases, which is a battle he will probably quite enjoying being in, because he should be able to pass both of them and get into P10 fairly quickly. Of course, they're trying to fight each other, which is blocking the track off. Not really where you want to be, but it is stopping us using a bit of our ARS, which is forcing us to save it, which will help as we're going to go for the big one through the start-finish road. Double overtake. What was that? What is that madness? He went for the double overtake, got one. Is he going to get the second right here? Piastri has just had enough. He's gone for it. Let's have a look at that overtake before we check out the overtake on board with Tsunoda. There's 3 wide into turn 1. Magnussen, of course, the better angle. Tsunoda the better angle. So does get the place. And Kevin Magnussen loses 2 places in 1 turn, which I guess is the big headline there. But we're going to chase down Tsunoda now, because I think we are done following Yuki Tsunoda through the field. I think we're just going to try and stick with him. Hopefully no back markers are going to come and get in our way. Norris is coming, going to hand us a free position. Ricciardo might come in. He's not. He's staying out, so there's still going to be something to play for. We're in a good place. We're in a good place right now. Just have to make the best of it, and that is what we're all about. Right, Bottas is now behind Hamilton as well in 5th. He's battling with Hamilton, so let's go on board with that one, because that's slightly more interesting, I guess. See how that takes shape. We'll keep an eye on Piastri, see if he does make the overtake on Tsunoda. He may well do. It's not impossible. We are coming again towards a wet period, I think. Excuse me, the cough is killing me. Ricciardo in now, so we are going to be battling for 8th with Yuki Tsunoda. Bottas now has passed and is starting to lose Hamilton, which is definitely a benefit. Magnussen has dropped off our tail as well, so that's going to help us out. Hamilton in for the pits, so he's coming on fresher tyres, so trying to undercut Valtteri a little bit. So we are hoping for a safety car, really, to get ourselves into 3rd. Is kind of how this is going to shake out, because I feel like Sainz has wrapped this one up, and then it's Leclerc and Verstappen and maybe us in the fight for the final podium place if there is a safety car, which I can't guarantee. Actually, I'd quite like a red flag in this race, to be honest, but you can't have it all. Let's see what Oscar's doing, shall we? Oscar Piastri having a whale of a time following Yuki Tsunoda around. Should go for the move up here to get himself that final point. He is going for it. Is he going for it? He's looking at it. He needs to sort of stick his nose out now. If he's going to go for it, he's not going to go for it. He's letting Yuki have the apex. Spinny says, nice attempt. You'll get them next time. Honestly, should have got it that time. But we're going to try out this corner. Okay, good work. Nice idea. Try out turn 3 up the inside, maybe a bit late on the brakes. We could do it. Not quite. He's kind of forced up the inside, but we're going for it now. Piastri pushing his way through. Ricciardo's going for yet another pit stop. So good stuff. How many pit stops has Ricciardo made now? He must be on at least 5. At least 5. Piastri's still hanging out there with Tsunoda, who's kind of got his nose ahead, but Piastri's going to come back through this corner. Piastri is not going to allow himself to stay behind a Haas if he doesn't have to. It's a very close battle here. I'm not going to go to the replay because we're enjoying the live racing to it. That was Danny Ricciardo's 5th pit stop, by the way. And this should be what we get done. Come on, up the inside, get side by side on pure flat-out pace. We will do them because we have the pace and the tyres won't help. Piastri has been lapped, by the way. Unbelievable stuff. Piastri somehow getting lapped. Doesn't make any sense at all. But there we are. We've been lapped, and apparently could get our teammate catching us up too. Piastri has finally made the overtake stick, and hopefully it should just run away now. That'll be good. Norris and Tsunoda can have their little scrap over 9th. We'll say goodbye and good night, and we'll carry on our day and try and get ourselves up to George Russell, who has to be the next target. Where's he on tyres? 20%, buddy. What is that? What is that mess? And George Russell is about to get lapped as well. Such has been the dominance of Ferrari that they are lapping Mercedes, and it's not out of the realm of the possibility they'll lap Hamilton as well. To be honest, Russell's just been lapped, and Hamilton is sort of half a track away. But as I said, not out of the realm of the possibility he'll get lapped. You've got to think George Russell will come in for the pits this time around. He's got nothing left on his tyres. So if he doesn't come in now, he has sort of given up all hope. And I think he's given up all hope. We should catch him very quickly with Piastri, with the tyre differential of about 48% at this point. We should be able to catch him quite quickly. That's going to be the hope. Bottas, meanwhile, has Sergio Perez all over his gearbox, which is not the one, because Bottas's tyres are not going to make it to the end, no matter how good a driver Valtteri Bottas is. We are very much hoping for a safety car situation here, because I know a pit stop is about a 22-second loss, and just doing the maths very quickly, that will bring us out behind Hamilton, so we do need to kind of make that gap form if we can. There is part of me just saying, do I absolutely leather these tyres to the end and see if we can make that gap happen? Doing that, Hamilton's on fresh rubber, isn't he? So we would have to. Sure, let's do it. Let's just hammer these tyres, try and get ourselves in for fresh rubber before the end of the race, and we'll be in a good position to make something happen. I was considering waiting to see if we got the heavy rain back, to see if we need to go to another set of wet. It doesn't feel like it's worth it. George Russell has finally come in, which will let Piastri past him, which is a small gain at the very least. We'll take that small win if we can. Bottas is going to have to come in fairly soon, because I'll keep an eye on the gap to Hamilton. In fact, having said that, I think we're going to have to go for this pit stop now. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen for us. Let's go. How many laps are left? There are 17 to go. Let's come out aggressive and adjust from there. That's going to be the plan. We'll come out aggressive, see if there is some gains to be made. I think Bottas, he'll be in 6th, at the very least, with his teammate right behind him, who should have the tyres to get to the end just about. It'd be close, but he should have the tyres to get to the end just about. And we'll see how this goes. I'm sort of keeping an eye out, see where that Ferrari is, because I don't want it to lap us. If we can avoid it, we are still on the lead lap, and Hamilton has just passed us. So there's got to be a Ferrari somewhere in our rear view mirrors coming out, I think. We'll have a little look-see on the over-wing camera to see if we see a Ferrari. We don't see a Ferrari. Okay, Valtteri Bottas not yet being lapped. That's good. That's what we're looking for. Now we start giving chase to Lewis. We can start being a bit more of a threat. Let's see how that's going to work tyres-wise. Beautifully, in fact. Here's the answer to that question. We are back on track with fuel. We can just kind of let this one ride. We're going to go for the fasty because what we're doing is catching Lewis. That's our plan. Just catch up with Lewis. And if a safety car does come now, we are in a great position. A great position. But it's a big if. A big if. And Bottas, I think, may have gone a bit too far adrift of the leaders, the top 4 certainly. But Lewis is coming now, so Lewis is going. We're coming for Lewis is more accurate. Let's go light on those tyres. We can't actually afford to go light on the tyres. We've got Tsunoda right behind us. Unless Tsunoda comes in, there's very little we can do. So we're just going to have to keep hoping those tyres can make it to the end for Oscar Piastri. He should have a fair few laps left on them. He's got half the tyre left, and I can't remember what lap I put him on. That 39. So they've done 21 laps already. I'll do another 11. Just about. Good. Right, Bottas, get yourself caught up, mate, to Lewis Hamilton. That would be great. We can then get some passing done. I know Hamilton's on slightly better tyres, but we have a car that is as good as the Mercedes, and it's about time we demonstrated that. Come on, let's get it done here. This would be the time to get it done, because it is about to get very wet again, and the point where it gets very wet is not going to help us at all, because it's not going to get very wet for long enough, I don't think, for us to justify coming in for a set of wets and getting an advantage on Lewis. I don't think that's going to happen, so we've got to get it done on the track, which is fine. Let's see what we can do. Valtteri Bottas having a look at Lewis Hamilton. He's going to end his run of podiums here unless something spectacular happens up front. But it doesn't mean he can't give us a great race until the end. Here we go, in the slipstream of Hamilton. We're going to have a look around the outside. We're not. Lewis sees it, covers it. I'd argue that was 2 moves in the braking zone, but what do I know? And we've come up the inside now. We've just gone, sorry, Lewis, we're off. We'll see you later, Chief. You stay right there. Double apex, job done, and goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. We are off and to the races, and we'll start chasing down Sergio. Thank you very much, my friend. Nice and easy. Good stuff. We love this. We love this stuff. Right, Piastri is not making any inroads on Lewis, it's got to be said. But also he's on really rubbish tyres, so that's going to not help. He'll be fine. We just have to see out this slightly drying out period, and we'll be alright. I think I'd like to see a gap where we could get Hamilton in, we'll get Piastri in and out, but I don't see it. I think if I brought him in now, he'd come out about 15th. Which is not where we want him to be. So we're going to have to just leave him out and take the risk. We are hoping, of course, Bottas will start catching up to Sergio Perez. We'll keep an eye on him on the left-hand side. Yellow flags popping up all over the shop. To be expected, Gasly's run wide. Bottas is making up the gap on Perez, but I don't think he's going to catch Perez. I would suggest that's a long shot. Piastri has been overtaken by Lando Norris. probably a sign of tyre crossover there. It is. We're just going to hold on to this last point, I think, unless Norris is going to make another mistake, which is not, again, out of the realms of possibility, is it? We've seen it happen before. We're just going to hope for the best now. Come on, let's just keep ourselves in it, keep ourselves smooth. Rain is clear now, and that's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't think it's going to dry up enough before the end for me to be able to say, like, let's bring in Piastri for a set of softs and absolutely tear some new ones off people. But if we got a red flag, we're not going to get a red flag whenever I ask for it. I know we're not going to get a red flag. Don't write in. I know there's not a red flag coming. I'm very, very aware. There are 2 laps left, so we're going to tell Valtteri to push now. We're going to tell Piastri just to keep going as he's been going. Bottas might make up that ground on Verstappen still, just about, but I've got my doubts. He's in a fight still with Lewis, who has now apparently completely done him. Bottas had a lock-up. That's what happened. I didn't see it happen, but there we go. He's just gifted Lewis a position. Just gifted Lewis. Everyone's forgotten how to drive at the end of the season. And Valtteri is giving out gifts at the end of the season. And that's not going to help us at all in any way, shape or form. Something's happened in Sector 2. Another lock-up for Valtteri, perhaps? Is that what it's trying to tell me? There's a yellow flag out there for something. Carlos Sainz has lost it from the lead. And again, it's right in the middle of the track for no reason. And he gets driven into by an Alpha Tauri. Might force him to make a pit stop. We'll see, because Leclerc will be catching him at a stupid rate of knots if he has. He's not, so Sainz should be okay. I don't think he's going to have to come in. Oh, maybe. So that's 4 seconds to him. Sainz is just going to go, screw it, stay out, doesn't matter. But let's go see if we can assess the damage on Carlos Sainz's car, shall we? Just get a little look at what's going on there. He's come out of that largely unscathed. I don't know about the car behind him. Looks like he has. Okay, that's all worked out for him. Too much to our chagrin. It is all worked out for him. But we're just trying to see this one out now. Bottas trying to catch Hamilton. Probably won't do it. But we're going to try and catch Hamilton. Can we give him a bit more push on the old fuel bobs just to help him out? Why not? Let's see if we can get up there, shall we? Good stuff. Right, last lap. Carlos Sainz currently on it. We are not a lap down with Bottas yet, so we are top of the lead lap runners with
2 laps to go.
I guess Piastri being about to get swallowed up by second place as well, but it does actually mean I can burn way more fuel with Piastri because he's got a lap of fuel in his car he doesn't need. So we're going to use it. Why not? Use it to our advantage. Try and get onto the back of Lando Norris on this last lap. Let's go full deploy. Let's use all of Piastri's tyres. Let's jump on board with that. Why not? Let's get it done. See if Piastri can bring it home and maybe do something. He probably won't because there's nothing left of his tyres. I think Norris has got much better tyres. And that's probably all she wrote. Meanwhile, Bottas is very slowly making inroads on Lewis Hamilton. So that could be a situation. I am very aware that Bottas may need to, or he's just about managed to save enough fuel to keep himself from crossing the line. Track is now dry right at the end for the celebrations. Good stuff as Carlos Sainz goes across the line to take the win. Charles Leclerc will cross behind us, but in second, so that's absolutely fine. And that will be the ball game in that respect. Norris crosses the line, ending Piastri's race. Bottas, he's coming up behind Hamilton, but not quite fast enough. It would require Hamilton to have the same accident that Bottas did. He's not going to do it. We are going to take the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, though, so I'm quite happy with that as a finish. 6th place will do. It's not what we were expecting of Bottas, but this does, I think, it should give Carlos Sainz the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Oh no, Leclerc, I think, wins the Drivers' Championship as a result of this. We'll see what Crude and Crofty have got to say in a second. I think that might have won Charles Leclerc the Drivers' Championship. I might be doing my maths wrong, but I think that may have won Charles Leclerc the Drivers' Championship. We will see in just a second, but let's go zoom forward to get to the post-race.
What a phenomenal job Valtteri Bottas did today. Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing over at the team garage, I should think they're going to keep on doing it.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
Formula One has almost reached its conclusion this year. Meet us next time in Abu Dhabi, between the desert and the sea, for an enthralling finale.
And we will, of course, be going to Abu Dhabi in our next episode, but let's have a little look, see the final result and what that's done to the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. So Sainz from Leclerc, from Perez, from Verstappen. That doesn't even make sense in English. Sainz wins, Leclerc, then Perez, then Verstappen, then Hamilton, then Bottas, then Norris, then Piastri are the point scorers. George Russell finishes outside the points. Yuki Tsunoda does very well to come home in 10th. Mick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly in 11th and 12th respectively have done quite well there. Kevin Magnussen comes home in 13th. Alonso down 7 places in 14th. Ricciardo down 10 places in the McLaren in 15th. Ocon goes up 3 places to 16th. Vettel makes up 1 to 17th. Albon down 4 to 18th. Guan Yu Zhou up 1 to 19th. And Lance Stroll loses 10 places and 2 laps in the Grand Prix. Right, in terms of the driver standings, Charles Leclerc is leading the championship by 4 points from Max Verstappen. He is 7 points clear of Carlos Sainz. So we do in fact go into the final race with a big old shootout for the title. 3 drivers could win the championship in the next episode. Valtteri Bottas could secure 6th, so could Oscar Piastri, technically speaking. So there's a lot to play for. A lot to play for. Théo Pourchaire, by the way, is still sitting in 11th in the championship, despite not having had a drive for half the season. That's pretty impressive, and we've stayed our gap with Williams and Mercedes in the constructors at 28 points, guaranteeing we finish 4th in the constructors this year. But that's not too bad. We're going to pay out for it. It'll all work out in the end. Oscar Piastri hopefully has just got himself a development point. Valtteri Bottas got himself a development point. I don't know if he can get any better. David Schumacher also taking himself a bit of experience from this race weekend, and we've made 3.2 million in profit, which is pretty strong. It's pretty strong. We'll take that. That's not embarrassing at all. So all round, a very, very good race weekend for the Williams team, and there's going to be a brand new part coming in for the car just to round off the season as well. A rear wing, just to give us some more top speed. Let's in fact construct that. 4 days to the race. So it's going to be an emergency build of that part, that rear wing, but get it on the car, get us underway. We're all happy. Can we get 2 of those done? It will reach completion date before the race. Okay. Do I trust the boys to not break one? I've got no choice. Let's just make that as cheap as possible. We're going to stick the extra research people into another rear wing. This might be the only rear wing we get, so let's just do the timing first. It's 1st of January. It's not going to quite make it. So can we get that done faster by adding research time? No, we're going to have to add researchers. Disappointing much, because it's not going to let me put that through because of the completion date. Okay, I have to rearrange some bodies on some projects. Let's go to all of our projects and we will take a mechanic off the underfloor, because that won't make a lot of difference to this project, but it will make a lot of difference to a rear wing project. which is what we need to do. We need to make a difference to the rear wing project. So we can stick 4 engineers on that. I'm going to use half of my MFD hours because I'm very aware we are only going to get one more piece of development done before the next race. And the rear wing, for the extra benefit it will give us in terms of overall pace, is absolutely worth every second. We're going to go for high speed performance because that's where the gains are to be made, and we'll bring that in. How has that gone down to 6th? The 6th of January. How does that make sense? Is it because I've asked too much? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to try and tweak this back so we'll lose some gains somewhere. We're not going to worry too much about that. Adding that speeds it up. Okay, good stuff. Good. Let's start with high speed with balanced. Start there. Let's add things to it as best we can to improve the car. Drag reduction is going to probably help us a lot. We'll do that. That'll be fine. That'll come in just in time anyway. And we'll see if that helps us make the car the faster one. Right, distribution driver upgrades. We've got an upgrade on Valtteri Bottas. Where do we want to upgrade Valtteri Bottas? I think having him be a little bit faster off the line could be his advantage. Have we got anything for our staffs? Nope, nothing for our staff. Okay, so quick look at the inbox and we should be good to go. We have got exceeding expectations, the debrief good, our rear wing is absolutely hunky-dory. So a quick look just to make sure we have enough of each part in the warehouse. We do, so that's good. I'm happy with that. And let's have a quick look and see what our car is like for Abu Dhabi. We'll obviously get a slightly better rear wing on the car, but we're currently looking like, in fact, we can do this whilst looking at the build of the car. I think it will give us an approximation of where that will put us for it. So we will be in 3rd for acceleration, 5th for top speed, which is important, 15th for low speed, 5th, which is crucial for medium speed corners. So yeah, potentially a podium. That's what we're looking at for next race in the As Marina, and hopefully you'll all join me. So thanks for watching, guys. I have as always been chasing lamely. Join me for the season finale. We'll find out who is going to be world champion in our next episode. Until then, though, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a good one.